on G. Sutton. Thank you very much for watching the channel. Do please, come on, like and subscribe. It's down there, folks. Yeah, and comments. If you've got any comments, insults, observations, please make them down there. There's a link below, and you can have a look at my book as well if you want. It's doing quite well on Amazon, I believe. Anyway, I'm going to talk today about what's in the news on the prisons. On today's news on the BBC, there was an interview with a guy who'd done 5 years in Wandsworth prison. He said he was a member of the Kuwaiti royal family, and he'd been sentenced to 12 and a half years, and he'd been held in Wandsworth jail, and he was interviewed live on television, and he said it's hell in there, that the staff are beating up the inmates, and there's a great deal of self-harm, people slashing themselves in front of the staff, cutting themselves, saying, you don't need to attack me, I'll injure myself, save you the trouble, that kind of thing. So they're saying that it's a disgraceful mess. Well, there's been numerous reports on prisons like Wandsworth, Pentonville, Wormwood Scrubs. They're saying that these places are unfit for human habitation. Unfit for human habitation, that's it, yeah? Where is the health and safety reports on these prisons? Yesterday I did a little article on a guy who'd killed himself in HMP Moorland in Yorkshire. He'd been sentenced to 30 months in prison for speaking his mind and shouting abuse at the police. Well, I'm sure that the police aren't too bothered about being called scum. I believe it was Yvette Cooper who called the Tory party there nothing but scum. She didn't go to prison, did she? She's in the cabinet. Yeah, the current cabinet. This was when she was in opposition. So, and now, apparently, all the places that they freed up by allowing, virtually 3,000 inmates out of prison early on 40% of their sentence instead of 50%. So the sentencing program in the British system is absolutely fractured. It's broken, and apparently, from the reports I've read today, there are still no places available. It's down to less than 100, I believe, vacancies in HM prisons. And what are they using them for? They're using them to imprison people who use naughty words or put broadcasts up, or TikTok, or what is it, X, as it used to be called, Twitter, adverse comments up that may be viewed as being racist or inciting violence. And don't forget, tomorrow, this is another thing I saw on the news today, Tommy Robinson has to report to a police station in London where he is going to be arrested and taken before the magistrates, I believe, and he may get police bail. He may be remanded in custody. But on Saturday, Tommy Robinson is holding a rally. I think it's at King's Cross. It could be Victoria Station. It's one of the stations in London where they're meeting. I don't know. I previously said I certainly shan't be involved. I don't believe in... I do believe in protesting, absolutely. But as I said yesterday, all the protests I've been on, I usually have a shield and a big stick and a crash hat and goggles, because they throw things at you. It can be quite dangerous, actually. But I never thought that I was the enemy when I was doing that. I wasn't there to entertain myself. I was there doing a job. And that's basically what the police are doing. You'll find that the vast majority of police officers are not there to entertain themselves. They're there to get the job done. And I spoke to my brother about this. Now, my brother was the inspector in charge of the serious crime squad in Manchester. And they used to tour around the city with a load of lads all tooled up with clubs and all the rest of it. Police officers, of course, answering violent demonstrations in and around Manchester. And he said there was a problem, he said, because some of the officers who were there actually wanted to engage in battle. And my brother, who was the inspector in charge, who would have to answer for it, said, no, we're not going in tattling people unless we absolutely have to do. And just because they're parading in the streets shouting abuse doesn't mean that they're going to burn cars down or attack people. They were basically protesting. And that is what's going to happen this Saturday, no doubt. There will be a great deal of shouting and banners that contain potentially offensive observations, as the guy who found himself in prison, Peter Lynch, I believe his name was, that's what he was doing. But he got 30 months in prison, and after a period of a few weeks decided he couldn't face it anymore. He'd been labelled a racist, put into a prison where there was a large population of ethnic minority groups and couldn't handle it. And goodness knows, I mean, he would have been a desperate man, never been in prison before in his life, shouted a few naughty words, and all right, they're going to let out the villains, the killers, the rapists, and paedophiles aren't getting sent to prison these days. And look at Hugh Edwards. I mean, what was Hugh Edwards doing? He was procuring photographs of little boys being penetrated. I mean, he didn't go to prison, but shout a few naughty words at the police and that's what you find yourself. Somebody got actually charged with calling a police horse gay. You can imagine. I mean, what does he think he is? Clint Eastwood? My donkey don't like you laughing. He thinks you're laughing at him, you know. That kind of nonsense, you know. So where are we at? The world has gone mad. Anyway, it is another item on the news today. Yeah, in Manchester Prison, Strangeways Prison, as it used to be called when it was a prison, they're staging a massive crackdown on drugs, and they're going to try and rid the prison of the drugs. And good luck with that, because people on here who are messaging me, sending me messages privately and putting comments, and do please put your comments down below if you've got anything to say about drugs in prison and you've been there. Let me know where you thought they were coming from, because all the information I have is that a vast majority of drugs are coming in through visits and through corrupt staff. You've only got to look at the news, and regularly you'll see that officers are being charged with misconduct in public office. Misconduct in public office meaning that they're smuggling drugs in, mobile telephones, alcohol, goodness knows what else they're smuggling in, and a lot of the hostess staff, and I'm sure that the vast majority of hostess staff are trying to do the best job they can. I'm not a misogynist, I know, but they shouldn't be there in the first place. The only reason that the Home Office are employing the hostess system is because it's cheaper to do so. They can't get the big boys to work for that kind of money anymore, and if you're in one of the major cities and you're earning $30,000 a year or something like that, which is round about the average pay for an officer with a few years service, then I don't know where you're going to live, but you'll be very lucky if you can find somewhere to rent when you're receiving that kind of money. So that's on the news today. The Strangeways Prison is being subjected to a massive crackdown on the drugs. Good luck with that. You've got the stories of Tommy Robinson about to be arrested tomorrow. Well, he is being arrested tomorrow. He's going to go to the police station. Then he is going to go. I mean, give him his due. He's come back to Britain and he's going to face the music. And Wandsworth Prison, it's been on the news today at lunchtime with one of the former inmates saying it's absolute hell in there, and it's that time of day. Yep, the famous song dinger. Head for the hills. Yeah, up you go. The Rotherham goalkeeper has just beat a hasty retreat, grabbed Billy Goat Gruff by the neck and done a runner. Will I sing to you though? Well, it ain't singing, is it? This is a song by Hank Williams. I like Hank Williams. Gone now, of course. This is Your Cheating Heart. Yeah. Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you when tears come down like falling rain. You'll toss around and you'll call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will pine someday and crave the love you threw away. The time will come when you'll be blue. Your cheating heart will tell on you when tears come down like falling rain. You'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. There you go. If you liked that, and I bet you really, really did, yeah, leave me a like down below. Comments, insults, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Tales from the jails.